Hello, my name is Shelley Manweller, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to McGraw-Hill's My Math. My Math is a vertically aligned, comprehensive math curriculum written to the Common Core state standards. It was back-mapped from the College and Career Readiness Anchor Standards all the way down to pre-K to ensure a logical and cohesive progression of skills and concepts. It's also available in Spanish, Mis Matemáticas. We have seen a lot of shifts in content based on the Common Core state standards. Students need a deep understanding and active engagement with mathematical practices. As well, there's been tons of change in technology and how it's been used in assessments. Part of my job is to show you what sets us apart. So let's begin with the 4 special aspects of My Math. First, My Math pays special attention to rigor and relevance. As we go through an overview of My Math, we will see how we support a balance of conceptual understanding, procedural skill and fluency, and application, all important components of a rigorous program. And what binds it all together are the mathematical practices, the habits of mind of a mathematical thinker, which are embedded every step of the way. My Math is relevant to today's teacher as well as students. By providing numerous opportunities for inquiry throughout the program, students will be making mathematical discoveries and participating in inquiry learning experiences by developing questions and investigating to find solutions. The second aspect that sets My Math apart is how My Math provides equity for all students, with special attention to English learners. For example, every lesson provides differentiated instruction for every level. Every step of the way, you'll find solid instruction and strategies for our English learners. And for even more support, we have a one-of-a-kind interactive guide for language development in mathematics. We'll talk more about that later. Another huge difference is the support that My Math provides for next-generation assessments. And finally, there is dynamic technology in My Math. Everything is on one platform, intuitive, user-friendly for teachers and students, and reliable. I can't stress how big of a differentiator this is. Today, I'll be showing you technology live because it's up and running and very intuitive and easy to use. We want you to see that. Teachers have been using and loving our technology. Keep in mind, this isn't just a warehouse for PDFs file. There's interactivity for teachers and students to enhance instruction. Another difference with our technology is that we have a mobile app. Once downloaded, no internet or Wi-Fi is necessary, and it's compatible on iPads, Android tablets, as well as Chromebooks. My Math is designed to take you and your students from where you are to wherever you want to go. It can be taught 100% print, 100% digital, or anywhere in between. And although you might not be there with technology today, you know the tech will be there for when you need it. Let me show you where My Math technology can take you. Watch as a student works digitally on their interactive text. They're able to use a stylus tool to show all of their work, and a teacher can log in and comment back in real time. How incredible is that? And of course, this technology is amazing, but your student will also have a 2-volume set of interactive text to record their learning, as well as consumable interactive guide to build academic language to facilitate the understanding of math vocabulary and deepen conceptual knowledge. Teachers will have a 2-volume set of teacher's editions. Everything that you see in print is available through our online teacher center as well. If you have a teacher's edition in your hand, take the first tab, pull it across, and you'll see the chapter planner. You'll see that My Math puts emphasis where the Common Core demands. One of the critical areas of 3rd grade is multiplication with repeated addition and arrays. Here you see an entire chapter dedicated to this concept. Lessons build on each other, allowing us to go deeper and integrate knowledge, which is the essence of rigor. As you turn ahead through the pages, you'll find what's the math in this chapter. Just a few pages after the chapter planner is this What's the Math in the Chapter. In My Math, there is ample teacher support on Common Core standards. Put your finger on what should students understand, what should students be able to do, This unpacks the standard for teachers by providing visuals and a description for each standard of the chapter. There are numerous benefits to this feature. Not only does it unpack the standard, it gives a visual representation and clear student outcomes. This is really designed to help teachers with Common Core standard instruction. And because we value professional development, we provide instructional videos to support teachers implementing My Math, including a video modeling the mathematical practices being taught in the classroom. Again, if you have a Teacher's Edition in front of you, pull across the next tab to see Common Core support at the lesson level. I'm sure you've all heard of the buzzwords for Common Core state standards: focus, coherence, and rigor. One of the ways that My Math is different is the depth of info for our focus, coherence, and rigor for each lesson. It's not just a head nod to the Common Core state standards. Every lesson provides specific information regarding each of those areas. For this lesson, the major cluster is represent and solve problems involving multiplication and division, and we are connecting to Grade 3 operations and algebraic thinking. Under coherence, you see more information regarding how the content progresses across the grade levels. And we're attending to rigor with exercises increasing in complexity as we move through. This is like your depth of knowledge, levels of questionings called for by the Common Core state standards. You want to have a variety of levels. And so you'll see a balance here of levels 1, 2, and 3 in every lesson. Level 4 is found in projects, performance tasks, and real-world problem-solving readers. Now, put your finger on the green band across the top of the page. Do you see it where it says Begin Lesson Presentation? This is something teachers have been asking for. This band across the top references the lesson presentation for every step of the lesson so that you have that bridge to step easily into the digital resources from the print Teacher's Edition. This is a My Math difference, by giving you a Teacher's Edition that will help you easily teach a lesson digitally. Let's take a look at what this might look like in the classroom. For every lesson, you have a pre-built presentation, or kind of like a PowerPoint on steroids. As you watch this video go by, you notice that each step of the lesson is integrated, including manipulatives, space to work, opportunities to engage students in conversation. Their independent practices right there. You can go over homework for the day. It also includes video links and games for the day as well. Lessons are customizable as well as those presentations, but let's take a moment to look at the consistent instructional path provided. In this first step, Get Ready, you'll find instructional support to develop vocabulary with activities that support the mathematical practices. English language learner instructional strategies have prompts at point of use. Here, students are working with sentence frames for written and oral language support. Again, if you have that print Teacher Edition, place your finger on Step 2, the Investigate and Model part of this lesson. Remember, our focus is on inquiry, so every lesson begins with Investigate the Math. Before students even open their books, we give them a question to explore, to make their own discoveries. This is one of the layers of rigor, that productive struggle where students are introduced to a problem and they use inquiry to find solutions. Next, we find modeling the math, using concrete objects and manipulatives to ensure that students are building that conceptual understanding. We didn't stop there. Online, for additional problem-based learning opportunities, you'll find additional National Science Foundation-based projects correlated to chapter content. Here, students are using a function table to plan a party. It's really from this investigate and model that we can extend into deeper inquiry through real-world application, another layer of rigor. As you turn the page, you'll find Step 3, Teach. Everyone, put your finger on a red mathematical practice arrow. You'll see mathematical practice icons. These indicate when mathematical practices are being addressed, along with examples of student responses and instructional support. This isn't just once in a lesson. You have this support every step of the way. This is one of the ways that we support that Common Core instructional shift, providing instructional support each step of the way for the mathematical practices as well as content standards. You also see opportunities for talk math, to communicate about math. This is especially important for English learners, but all of our students seem to be struggling with explaining their thinking. The increased emphasis on speaking and listening in the new English language arts standards and emphasis on students explaining thinking. Remember, if students are able to talk about their understanding, that's the first step to being able to write about it, like on the SBAC. Step 4 is practice and apply. Notice the formative assessment on the page, a variety of formative assessment prompts like ticket out the door, think, pair, share, exit slip. This leads you directly to the RTI right below it, response to intervention. This is showing us that we have differentiated instruction for every lesson. We'll see it when we turn the page. Here we see a clear path to differentiated instruction options. You'll see wrap up the lesson on the right, finishing with homework, and then differentiated instruction on the left. Remember that differentiated instruction is one of the things that really sets us apart in the support that we have for all students. In My Math, differentiated instruction includes extra support and extensions for students both above and below grade level. Every lesson includes approaching on and beyond level differentiation. Now, if you look at your print teacher's edition or at the screen in front of you, what do you notice about that differentiated instruction? There are hands-on activities at every level. When kids are struggling, what do they really need? These provide hands-on activities for each level in addition to differentiated practice pages. The difference is that with My Math, all of our practice pages open in a Word document, so you can customize and make changes to make the practice meaningful and relevant to your students. My Math is the only program that provides English language learners differentiated instruction for every lesson. No other program gives you this level of support for each lesson. This is a huge difference with My Math. Our emerging students are using sentence frames and giving choral responses. Expanding level students are using TPR strategies, and bridging students are working in small groups to prepare presentations about arrays. Again, I encourage you to compare. These are well thought out activities for each lesson, and they're manageable and easy to integrate into your class. So every lesson has this built-in differentiated instruction. But again, we didn't stop there. The Interactive Guide is a student workbook that provides scaffolded support for academic language and writing and mathematics for each lesson in My Math. Let's take a look to see the kind of support you can expect to see in the Interactive Guide, starting with bridging students into support with mathematical practices, and what does the inquiry of the essential question look like? Next, we see opportunities for guided writing. You're seeing both third grade and first grade examples on the screen, but this is available at every grade level. Next, you'll see Cornell note-taking opportunities. What excellent opportunities to help students bridge in, giving them a scaffolded version of note-taking. You'll also find word webs and definition maps. Think about all the ways this attends to another layer of rigor, and this is available kindergarten through 5th grade. And for easy navigation, for any classroom teacher, specialist, as well as support staff, the Response to Intervention Guide will easily guide you to the exact resources you need for any level of learner, for every lesson, including Tier 3 intervention resources found online. Beginning in 3rd grade, ALEX can be bundled with My Math. Have you heard of ALEX? ALEX is based on the latest brain research on how students learn math concepts, created by a researcher from UC Irvine. It analyzes what the students know and what they're ready to learn next. It then provides self-guided instruction and practice. Every student is on their own unique learning path. ALEX also provides teachers with valuable information regarding students' gaps in knowledge. Other programs might say they have adaptive learning, but ALEX is very different. Let me tell you why it's much better. It's its own program, so it's not dipping back into the program and recycling content. It is based on algorithms and doesn't have set question banks, so it's constantly generating new learning sets. In other words, it's not the same staircase that all students are climbing. It provides multiple pathways, and it's based on many years of research on how students learn. It's appropriate for all students, but it's great for special needs to help fill in those gaps, as well as for acceleration. We have seen a variety of differentiation options. To support you with management during small group instruction, teachers receive a learning station filled with ready-made, self-directed activities. It has games with differentiated support for approaching, on-level, and beyond-level support. These also complement our online games. The Learning Station also has graphic novel animations. This is a problem-solving format that kids enjoy. They get to watch a quick animation where it shows in kind of a graphic novel format a mathematical problem being solved. And then they have the opportunity, using a black-line master, to write their own script for solving a problem. Another resource in the learning stations are the real-world problem-solving readers. This is what the Common Core State Standards is all about: math in context and problem-solving. These are a great tool to connect math to English language arts for close reading of informational text, as well as science and social studies standards. The real-world problem-solving readers are unique because they come in 3 levels: approaching, on, and beyond. Here, we have Making a Budget, where students are connecting math to social studies. Students study the content more in depth with greater complexity. The Teacher's Guide for the Real-World Problem-Solving Readers provides differentiated instruction and a variety of resources to work with. For example, students will identify the problem, decide on a strategy, showing the steps they took to find the solution, and justify their answer. This is a type of problem solving that is another way My Math helps students prepare for those open-ended questions they'll see on Smarter Balance assessments. And in the Problem Solving Reader Teacher's Edition, the answer key identifies the depths of knowledge levels for each and every question, teaching kids to think analytically as they read informational text across disciplines. These real-world problem-solving readers are available digitally in both English and Spanish. We've walked together through the Print Teacher's Edition, but remember that all resources are also available digitally as well in the My Math Teacher Center. Now, let's take a closer look at the student materials. Every student receives the interactive student write-in text, where they can read, write, draw, compute, graph, and self-assess all in one place. Students literally engage with the page. It allows them to keep a personal record of their learning. And because our students are 21st century learners, everything is available digitally as well. If you have a print student edition, will you turn with me to the first tab, pull it across. First, we engage, challenge, and motivate students within My Math. This is the chapter opener. Let me tell you what students love about these books. It's visually appealing, they love the graphics, and really, isn't half the battle getting students motivated in math? If you strip away all this artwork, though, you'll find the rigor that the Common Core State Standards calls for. Authors of My Math want students to be excited about opening their books. Oftentimes, kids in kindergarten, first or second, love math, but oftentimes by the time that they're in the upper grades, that's when students become intimidated by mathematics, and those feelings of who's good and who's not are forming. There's no reason why it can't still be fun and motivating. So every chapter kicks off with an essential question to focus learning. Here it is. What does multiplication mean? After that, you will see each chapter also focuses on an engaging real-world theme. Here, it's my favorite foods. Each chapter kicks off with a video. that engages students in that essential question and introduces them to the content that will be covered.
I'm having a party at my house and inviting all my friends. Pizza and frozen yogurt are my favorite foods, and I need to use math to make sure I have enough for all my guests. Wait! How are my favorite foods and math related? Let's use repeated addition to figure out how many slices of pizza I'll have for my party. I'm ordering 4 pizzas to share with my friends. Each pizza will be cut into 8 slices. How many pizza slices will I have to share with my friends? Let's use repeated addition to find out. We can add the same number of slices for all 4 pizzas. How many slices are there altogether? 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 32. That means there will be a total of 32 slices of pizza to share with my friends. You can use repeated addition with your favorite food. Let's get cooking.
What did you hear happening in that video? I heard kids making the content in the chapter relevant to their world, in their own voices. One of my math's goals is to present rigorous mathematics in a meaningful and motivating way, so each video sets up key math concepts in a real-world engaging context, and they help to build that important conceptual Velcro. Again, if you have a print student edition, turn 2 pages, and you'll see examples of this unparalleled vocabulary support. This is a key difference to remember. First, on the left-hand side you see My Math words, where previously taught words are reviewed. And on the right, you see My Vocabulary cards. How cool is this? Every student will have their own set of vocabulary cards for each chapter. These cards are colorful, with engaging visuals, student-friendly definitions, and ideas for interacting with mathematical language built right in. There's no need to copy, it's right where the students need it, in their book. And because this is the Common Core program, you have the Common Core language, new vocabulary at new grade levels. Words like decompose and compose, scaling, composite figure. And I really encourage you to compare. My Math teaches Common Core language, not language that is only specific to this program. The vocabulary cards are amazing. Now, turn past your cards until you get to the My Foldable, one of my favorite parts of the program. Are you familiar with foldables? These are interactive study organizers to help students retain information. Research shows that students retain 50% more when they are using a graphic organizer, and we can add an even deeper layer to this by making it something that students can touch, feel, and manipulate. Just one more great way My Math supports and engages students. Foldables and our partnership with their creator, Dinah Zeich, are unique to McGraw-Hill. Again, everything you need in one place. Now, I'm going to walk you through a lesson, and I'm going to show you all the digital features that accompany it. Please follow me on the screen. Our lesson is arrays and multiplication. Notice the speaker icon. By clicking this speaker icon, students can hear the text being read to them. And notice the essential question. What does multiplication mean? Exactly what you see in print in front of you. And then you'll see each lesson begin with Math in My World, which frames the introduction of the concept with a connection to the real world. When it's time to teach the examples, teachers can focus students' attention directly to the problem by using the Zoom tool and enlarging just that section of the page. The first example in Math in My World reads, Mrs. Roberts baked a batch of bagels. She arranged the bagels in 3 equal rows of 4 bagels each on the cooling rack. How many bagels did she bake? Notice the first thing we're going to do is use counters to further support students' conceptual understanding of an array. Lessons in My Math build conceptual development through the use of concrete manipulatives. My Math connects conceptual development to procedural skills. Here, moving from counters to word problems to repeated addition and multiplication. To scaffold that instruction, students have sentence frames, here with an unknown. This scaffolded support is great for varied student learning needs. And notice the icons on the bottom of the page. I have a set of digital resources to deepen learning, all accessed through the icons we see right at point of use. For example, I see the tool icon, and with a click, I can access a full set of virtual manipulatives. As I enter my virtual manipulative platform, I am taken to the counters. the exact manipulatives I need for this lesson for encouraging the strategic use of representations and further developing conceptual understanding. I can also choose other tools such as base 10 blocks, and since they're digital, we can do things such as break them apart to truly help students build conceptual understanding. I have many other resources such as work mats, like this part-whole work mat you see here, that I might use for fractions, for example. There are also interactive storyboards to develop mathematical thinking and reasoning. Next in the lesson, notice we are now connecting a drawing to a number sentence, to an addition sentence, to multiplication. Students are building conceptual understanding through multiple representations, starting with manipulatives, then drawing, then moving into sentence frames, and then into the abstract. For students who need additional support, they can click to the links on the bottom to watch a video that walks them through the problem.
Arrays and multiplication. Roberto places party cups on a table in 3 rows of 5 cups each. How many cups are there on the table? The cups are arranged in equal rows and equal columns. This arrangement is an array. Arrays can help you multiply. The numbers you multiply are factors. The result is the product. To find the total number of cups, you can use counters to model the array. One way to find 3 times 5 is to add. 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. Another way to find 3 times 5 is to multiply. 3 times 5 equals 15. The array shows 3 rows of 5. You can write a multiplication sentence. So, 3 equal rows of 5 cups is 15 cups in all.
Notice how that video was paced. Again, valuable support for varied student needs, English learners, students who are struggling, or even students who may have missed the lesson. We follow the first multimedia lesson example with at least one more. Now, as you turn your page in their interactive student text, the personal tutors are another digital resource that begin in 3rd grade. In this video, we are making an array with photos. We're invited into Mr. Hardesty's class. It's already in session.
Hi boys and girls, it's Mr. Hardesty. We're going to use a photo album in this problem to demonstrate the commutative property. Photos. One page of Elsa's photo album is shown. Write 2 multiplication sentences to find how many photos are on each page.
Watch as Mr. Hardesty works through the problem. I've got it in fast forward. But
there's 2 ways using multiplication to represent the same problem.
And he wraps up those 2 different ways for us. Those student tutors begin at 3rd grade, and they're great for addressing varied student needs. Those struggling students, students who are absent, students who are doing their homework, and even parents. 2 to 3 of these tutors per lesson in both English and Spanish. Lessons also include talk math opportunities, which provide students with prompts encouraging them to reason mathematically and express reasoning through classroom discussion. Here they're asked what other operation uses the commutative property. Notice we have moved from modeling to guided practice, and now on the next page we'll see independent practice. My Math supports and provides procedural skill and fluency practice. One place this is found is in daily independent practice. We continue this practice as we move to the next page. Here, students are applying their mathematical knowledge to real-world problem-solving practice and application. Notice the HOT problems, the higher-order thinking problems. HOT problems are found throughout the lessons, connecting content standards with mathematical practices and allowing students to formulate, represent, and articulate their reasoning. Also notice the standards for mathematical practice arrow we mentioned earlier. Remember, the mathematical practice focus of this chapter is construct a viable argument. Here, in problem 16, students critique Elisa's argument, showing the commutative property. And next, students write about the essential question and construct their own viable arguments, expressing their reasoning through writing and independent thinking. Each lesson is followed by 2 pages of homework, right in the student interactive work text. The Homework Helper is a useful tool that provides students with links to tools that will support them with their homework. Remember, they can complete this homework in print or digitally as well. Finally, if you have that print student edition in front of you, pull the last tab across and you will see another McGraw-Hill exclusive, an opportunity for students to reflect on their understanding of the essential question right in their book. It's their chance to share all of the things that are stuck to their conceptual Velcro that help them to understand this concept. This is that metacognitive thinking that we know is so important. Here, students demonstrate their deeper understanding through multiple representations, drawing equal groups, writing a real-world problem, drawing an array, and writing about the essential question. In My Math, you are going to find next-generation assessments. Now, very important to know, our sister division is CTB Assessment. They have the largest contract with Smarter Balance in creating test items for the Smarter Balance assessment. They have already created over 10,000 test items that your students will be seeing. We work closely with CTB to ensure that our assessment items are reflective of the Smarter Balance assessment. Also, we have seen that the Smarter Balance assessment has evolved over the last couple years with field tests. We're the only program that waited until that Smarter Balance pilot ended to develop our assessment because we knew they would be evolving, thanks to that relationship with CTB. So really, any assessment resource that have a 2010, 2011, even 2012 copyright isn't truly going to mirror the nuances of the Smarter Balance. When you open our assessment resources, you will see how well these assessments truly mirror the Smarter Balance assessment. This is something we're very proud of and really sets My Math apart. First, Countdown to Common Core performance tasks. These performance tasks address multiple domains and address the 4 depths of knowledge. It's important for performance tasks to cross domains because students aren't going to be tested on Smarter Balance by chapter concepts. You'll be across domains. Also, I encourage you to compare. If performance tasks are important to you, look at the quality. Our relationship with CTB has ensured that our tasks mirror what students will be seeing on Smarter Balance. They are well-created, multi-step, in-depth tasks, not just more word problems. And be sure to review our Think Smart for Smarter Balance assessment book as well. In this resource, we have chapter tests where the items require students to fill in answer part A, fill in the blank, draw models, fill in tables, just like they have to do on Smarter Balance assessment. So students will be preparing for Smarter Balance at the same time as giving you chapter assessments. No need to stop and teach test-taking skills. The Think Smart for Smarter Balance also includes performance tasks at the chapter level that take students through a multi-step process through the task. Again, not just more word problems. I really encourage you to compare this to other programs. There you're going to see story problems labeled as performance tasks. And all of our assessments are available digitally through eAssess Online. Other programs use ExamView, and we consider that last generation technology. It's limited. With eAssess Online, you can access any of our ready-made assessments and customize them, or create your own test items, or whole tests. Our next generation assessments provide technology-enhanced questions that require students to click and drag, fill in the blank, so that students can get familiar with taking the test and focus on the actual content when it comes to Smarter Balance assessment time. Isn't this great? And when administering tests digitally, they do score, which is always a nice time saver. It will automatically generate a gradebook for you for all of your students and their scores. eAssess is great for administering assessments, but you can also administer practice pages and homework digitally for automatic scoring as well. And once scored, eAssess will generate a variety of reports. Today we've looked at 4 key elements that set My Math apart. So let's review. We have seen layers of rigor, including opportunities for developing conceptual understanding, procedural skills and fluency, as well as application opportunities. And please compare. My Math provides the quantity and quality of support you need for all learners, with special attention to our English language learners. When looking at math resources, you also need to compare assessments. My Math Next Generation assessments will be exactly what your students need as they count down to the Common Core. Don't forget our unparalleled technology. Everything we have is on one platform, intuitive and user-friendly for teachers and students. We want you to experience our technology live and for yourself. So here's your username and password so you can log in and explore at connected.mcgraw-hill.com. If technology is important to you, it's really important to compare this so that you can see that technology is really up and running, that resources like ours are just 1 or 2 clicks away, not 10 clicks. Here, our resources are organized by lesson and easy to navigate. It's so easy for students to find the resources they need as well. I really encourage you to explore and compare the technology thoroughly of each publisher and try it for yourself. Thank you for your time today and for all you do each day for your students.